Welcome back to another episode of Cappuccino Chat. This time we're talking about some of the changes that Microsoft made to Office 365 licensing. All right, this time we're talking about licensing changes that Microsoft did to us last year, and the change that they made had to do with the pricing. Now, there was a price increase last year, and with that price increase came some changes. So previously, you could commit to owning a license for a year, like you weren't going month to month, if you will, and you'd get a discount, but you could adjust the number of licenses that you had throughout the year, and there was, your bill would go down, bill would go up, whatever the case would be if you're going up or down in licenses. Now what Microsoft has done is at the time of starting or renewing your license agreement, you are locking in a certain number of licenses that you cannot reduce to get that reduced rate, which is basically the old rate. If you wanted to stay on what the old pricing was, you had to commit for a year, you couldn't change. So let's say you got a small business, you've got 10 users, start of your license agreement, you got to commit to 10 users for a full year. If throughout the year you lose a employee and you want to reduce a license, you can't. You're still paying for the 10. Now, there is another licensing method that they brought out, and it's a true month to month. The problem with that is the price went up on all the licensing. So you really have to make sure that you understand you're paying more for it, and I would do it for a reason. So if you know you're going to be maybe a seasonal business where you staff up for a couple of months, and then for the other parts of the year, you staff down, you don't need those licenses for whatever reason, that might be an instance where this would be useful. Other than that, I would say purchase the licenses that you need, no more, no less. Hey, I'm looking for 2 new employees. Don't get those until you absolutely need to. Because the nice thing about the licensing things is, let's say you bought those 10 licenses at the start for your business and you add employees 3, 4, 5 months in, you can add additional licenses, and those additional licenses will term out at this as the same as the original 10. So it's not like you're starting a brand new yearly agreement with those 2 or whatever additional licenses that you have. So my recommendation is get just what you need, no more, no less, and then add as you need. Again, the other option is you could get some or the majority of them as the fixed licenses that you can't adjust. So let's say, we go back to that 10 user business. I'm going to buy 10 now of those, but you know what? I got 2 employees I'm going to be starting next month, but they're only coming on for a couple of months. I'm going to get 2 month to month for a total of 12 licenses, 10 on the annual commitment, 2 on month to month. Month to month, you're going to pay more for, but you could do that. You can mix and match and have a little bit of both, but it really needs to pay off because the price jump going month to month is quite a bit. To me, it doesn't make sense, depending on how many of those you might need. You're better off just paying through the year on the lower rate, and it'll probably work out to about the same thing, or maybe even save you a little money depending on how many of those licenses you're getting. So if you have any questions about your Office 365 licensing, or which license to get, what's the best licensing term you should have, those types of things, please reach out to us at the office, 760-770-5200.